When most people think of karate, images of Japan immediately come to mind. Students in crisp white uniforms, echoing shouts and tales of legendary samurai. It's a vision shaped by movies, pop culture, and modern dojos, but the true story of karate's birth is far more complex and fascinating than most realize. The real journey begins not in mainland Japan, but on Okinawa, a small subtropical island kingdom lying to the south, surrounded by turquoise seas and steeped in its own unique traditions. Long before the word karate was ever spoken, the Okinawans practiced Te, which simply means hand. This was not a sport or a spectacle, but a secretive, practical art developed for one purpose: self-protection in a world full of uncertainty. The history of Te is rooted in the everyday lives of Okinawan people. It was about surviving street confrontations, not winning glory on the battlefield or impressing an audience. To truly understand karate, we must look beyond the myths and legends that have grown around it. We need to explore the vibrant culture of the Ryukyu Kingdom, a crossroads where Chinese, Japanese, and Southeast Asian influences met, and where trade and conflict shaped daily life. The Okinawan people, known for their resilience and ingenuity, developed Te out of necessity. Their martial art was shaped by the tools they used, the hardships they faced, and the need to defend themselves without weapons. This was an art written not in grand historical texts, but in the calloused knuckles and weathered hands of those who practiced it in secret, passing it down through generations. Karate emerged as a direct response to Okinawa's precarious position between powerful neighbors, China and Japan. The islanders became masters of diplomacy, trade, and, when necessary, self-defense, blending outside influences into their own unique fighting style. In a world teeming with sailors, merchants, pirates, and samurai, Te was the Okinawans' insurance policy, a way to protect themselves and their families when danger arrived at their shores. In this journey, we'll explore the environment that gave birth to Te, the foreign influences that refined it, and the legendary masters who codified its techniques and philosophy. We'll also see how karate transformed when it was exported to Japan, how it became a modern sport, and what essential elements were lost or changed in translation. By reconnecting with the roots of Okinawan Te, we can rediscover the original spirit of karate, a spirit grounded in humility, practicality, and the will to endure. This journey will take us from the polished world of modern sport karate back to the raw, personal art of self-protection that began on Okinawa's streets and shores. Join us as we uncover the real story of the empty hand and reveal the true origins of karate. Okinawa, the heart of the Ryukyu Islands, was a vibrant hub of trade connecting China, Japan, and Southeast Asia. Its strategic location made it a crossroads of cultures, ideas, and goods, with influences arriving from every direction. Its bustling ports brought prosperity and danger. Merchants, sailors, and travelers from distant lands mingled in the markets, but so did pirates and bandits, making self-defense a constant concern for locals. Self-protection was a daily necessity, shaping Te into a practical survival tool. It wasn't just a martial art, but a way of life, woven into the fabric of Okinawan society. Two events shaped Te: King Shoshin's 15th century weapons ban and the 1609 Satsuma invasion, which enforced that ban. These laws stripped Okinawans of swords and spears, forcing them to rely on their bodies for defense. With weapons forbidden, Okinawans refined unarmed techniques in secret. Training was often hidden, passed quietly from teacher to student, away from prying eyes. Okinawa's rugged terrain and humid climate forced training outdoors on sand and stone, building strong, stable stances and adaptable movements. The natural environment became both a challenge and a teacher. Practitioners learned to use their environment, stones, trees, even the shoreline, as training tools and weapons. Everyday objects like farming tools were adapted for defense, blending seamlessly into daily life. Te's philosophy was not about aggression, but de-escalation and overwhelming efficiency when needed. The art emphasized calm under pressure, teaching students to avoid conflict whenever possible. The goal: end conflict quickly, without drawing attention. Subtlety and control were prized above brute force, reflecting the realities of life under strict rule. This mindset, pragmatic, quiet strength, was born from Okinawa's unique history. Generations grew up valuing resilience, humility, and the ability to protect without provoking. Tea was a secret treasure passed down in families and small groups. It became a living tradition, evolving with each generation, yet always rooted in the island's spirit. Its techniques were honed by the harsh realities of life in the Ryukyu kingdom. Farmers, fishermen, and villagers all contributed to its development, ensuring it remained practical and effective. The art's roots are in adaptability and survival, not sport or spectacle. It was designed to meet the unpredictable challenges of island life, where danger could come at any moment. This is the DNA of Okinawan Te, a legacy of resilience, ingenuity, and quiet power, forged by the island and its people. Okinawa's close ties with China transformed tea tribute missions brought back not just goods but Chinese martial arts, especially Fujian white crane boxing. White crane's rapid hand techniques, stable stances, and close-range combat fit Okinawa's needs perfectly. Its influence is clear in kata like sanchin and hakutsuru, which preserve Chinese principles within Okinawan forms. Okinawan masters didn't just copy, they adapted, blending Chinese methods with local needs. This synthesis created Tōde, or China hand, the direct ancestor of modern karate. Tōde is an art with a Chinese soul and an Okinawan heart. The evolution of Tōde is told through its great masters. Sakugawa Kanga, after studying in China, blended Kenpo with Okinawan Te, creating Shuri-te and the kata kusanku. His student, Matsumura Sokon, combined these teachings with Japanese swordsmanship, creating a sophisticated blend of hard and soft techniques. Matsumura's art influenced a generation, but it was Itosu Anko who brought Tōde into Okinawan schools. Itosu simplified kata for children, creating the pinyan forms and ensuring karate's survival. This shift preserved the art but also began its transformation. Itosu's students, Funakoshi, Mabuni, Motobu, would spread karate across Japan and the world. These masters bridged the secret art of Te to the global phenomenon of karate. When Gichin Funakoshi introduced Okinawan Tōde to Japan in 1922, he faced a culture favoring native arts such as kendo and judo, which were deeply ingrained in Japanese society. To gain acceptance, he transformed Tōde, starting with its name, which was crucial for its integration. The characters changed from China hand to empty hand, aligning karate with Japanese philosophy and distancing it from its Chinese roots, which was a strategic move. The suffix "do," meaning way, turned karate into a path of self-development. Training was standardized. White GI, belt ranks, deeper stances, and a more formalized approach to teaching. There was a focus on long-range strikes, which made the art more visually appealing. Close-range grappling and pressure point techniques were de-emphasized for group instruction and sport. Karate became more dynamic and visually impressive, attracting a wider audience. However, it lost much of its original combat focus, which was more practical and direct. The practical applications of kata were simplified or hidden, making them less apparent to the untrained eye. The karate that spread worldwide was a Japanese interpretation, powerful but one step removed from its pragmatic Okinawan roots, which were more focused on real-world self-defense. The art's essence shifted from survival to sport and self-improvement, reflecting the changing times and cultural integration. Old Okinawan Te was built on three pillars: conditioning, practicality, and humility. Hojo Undo, striking makiwara, lifting stone weights, hardened the body into a weapon. Every technique was judged by one standard: does it work in real self-defense? Training included strikes, joint locks, throws, and vital point attacks focused on ending a fight instantly. Despite its effectiveness, Te was practiced with humility and respect. Life was a treasure and violence a last resort. The art was kept secret, free from ego or showmanship. Te was always evolving, absorbing new influences and adapting to real-world needs. Masters were problem solvers, not dogmatists. This spirit of critical thinking and adaptation is Te's greatest lesson. The old ways teach us to keep learning, testing, and refining, just as Te itself evolved over centuries. As Karate-do spread globally, its connection to old Okinawan Te faded. The deep knowledge of Tagumi, grappling, joint locks and throws was largely lost, replaced by long-range striking. Full-body conditioning and impact training became rare, replaced by athleticism for competition. The study of vital points, once central, is now often misunderstood or ignored. Many kata are practiced without understanding their original close-range applications. Yet the spirit of Te survives in Okinawa, in kata, and in the hands of dedicated masters. By studying history, seeking knowledgeable teachers, and analyzing kata, modern practitioners can rediscover lost techniques. The journey into karate's past is a call to action. It's an invitation to dig deeper, train harder, and reconnect with the art's pragmatic roots. In doing so, we enrich our own practice and honor the true spirit of Okinawan Te.